Welcome to Deep River Farm, folks. I appreciate you joining me this evening. We're trying to get some raised beds completed. Plant date for Zone 7, which is what I'm in, is 3, 4, and 5 of April. And then we have another plant date coming up around the 1st of May. I'll have to look that one up. That's when most people in the higher elevations are going to be planting. So we want to make sure we get those plant dates pushed out to you so you'll know that. I also want to remind you that B-Log is having a seed swap this Saturday, April the 5th. So if you're sending in seeds, try to make sure you get them there by the 5th of April for the seed swap. And this will give them plenty of time to get those seeds allocated out to the folks who's going to be planting some stuff. We also had another big pallet load of stuff, soil, bought and paid for. And we appreciate Pat sending this in. Chrissy said she sure did appreciate this, sending this pallet of stuff to B-Log. And she said she sees your name quite frequently out there on supplies that's coming to B-Log. And she said, tell Pat, you know who you are, that she sure does appreciate all the support that you've given B-Log. And you'll never know how much it means to the people to be able to get the supplies that you continually send in quite frequently. So, folks, I wanted to tell you a little something today. I've been hearing some things that's pretty concerning, and that is that there's still a lot of people that don't have power. And they've not had power since the hurricane, and the problem is the power's run right there close to the house, right at the house. They're just not lighting the structure up for electricity. And what it boils down to, folks, is I've been hearing this is more than one case that individuals are being told that their homes are in the new floodplain zone, when in fact these floodplains are being done by satellite imagery, and they're wrong. They're being told that their house elevation has to be up 10 or 12 feet higher than what it is, and that's not the case. And even the people that's come out there, some people from different agencies says it's incorrect, but they can't do anything because the government won't let the power company run them power. And they've not had running water or electricity since September the 27th, when the power went out due to Hurricane Helene. And some of this was just minute flooding that come in through the foundations and things that they wasn't flooded out by the river. Some of them had some damage from trees, and the basement was flooded, or the crawl space, and it ruined the heating and cooling systems. And they have to have electricity for all that, and in order to pass code, they're saying they have to be up above the mitigation and elevation planes that's set forth by the new FEMA flood zone planes. And there's a number of people I'm hearing out there that are well above that, but they're not correctly coming out and doing this. They're all doing it by satellite imagery, if I'm pronouncing all that correctly. And the lady told about it, and I'm telling you, folks, they're trying to push these folks off their land and claim more land than what's going on. I think we got us a land grab attempting to be taking place by the government, and it's just no sense in it. They need to send out individuals to do these assessments instead of trying to take the lazy way out and do them by satellite imagery and topography and things like that, because those elevations and things are miscalculated on these things, and they're not correct, and their people are still without power because of it. And you've got a lot of people that's paying taxes on structures that aren't there, and they shouldn't be paying taxes on these structures. And a lot of people paying homeowners insurance on houses that are full of mold and can't be lived in, and mortgages on these places. And folks, you need to check with your lending institution to see if the bank had coverage on your home. Most of the time, if you take a mortgage out, the bank has a separate insurance policy on those mortgages, And if that mortgage has been paid off by the bank's policy, that should free and clear you up to be either paid off by your insurance company, or that home should be in the clear. If that's if the bank has took a policy and they've been paid off on it and you're still paying on a mortgage, that's a double dip by the bank, and that should be fraud, and that needs to be checked into. So folks, check your lending institutions and find out if that mortgage was paid off by a separate policy, so you don't get hoodooed. Well, folks, I appreciate you joining me after finding out that stuff. Also, on April the 7th is your deadline if you are interested in the private roads and bridges, the North Carolina Bill 47 Helene Disaster Act that was passed by the North Carolina legislature. You have until April the 7th to get those forms filled out. So make sure you get those filled out well before the 7th. That way, if you have trouble, you can contact the Department of Public Safety. I think that's who's on the email, and you can get all of that taken care of. So folks, I appreciate you joining me here this evening on Deep River Farm. We're going to be looking at some stuff here in the next day or two on the trout and the effects from the Helene disaster on the trout fishing and things like that. So be looking for that video as well. And we're going to have an update hopefully in the morning about the update of the fires, the containment percentages, and all that stuff. I appreciate you joining me here today on Deep River Farm. Y'all have a blessed day.